on this video and you're curious about DJing, looking to start a new career in DJing, or just want to start up as a side hustle or even full time, I've got you. I'm here to help you start your DJ career today, and I'm going to provide you with my top 5 tips in order to help move you towards that goal of becoming a DJ. The first tip that I have for you is make a decision. Make that decision right now that you are going to be DJing in the next few weeks. It could be the next month, it could be next week. Just make a decision and stick to it. Now, this is very much about your mindset, and you're probably thinking, Sarah, why are we talking about mindset when I clearly want to know how to DJ? But trust me, your mindset is so imperative and it's so important. And remember, you can always change the decision, but the worst decision you can ever make is not making a decision. And at least with a decision, you've got direction. So make a decision that you're going to learn to DJ, set a goal in your mind as to when you want that first show to be, and let's get cracking on it. Okay, so the second bit of advice I have, and I'm sure you've heard of this saying before, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because if you're about to play your first show, you need to know and be comfortable with the basics of mixing. Now, you don't need to be completely confident because you'll build your confidence up as you go. Every show, you're going to build your confidence up. So if you're going into your first show, you're not going to be overly confident necessarily, but what I want you to feel is comfortable. Now, in order to be comfortable, you need to have done some practice at home. You need to familiarize yourself with decks. And to do this, I would suggest, if you can and if you're in a position to invest in a small controller. Now, the controller that I've learned to DJ on has actually discontinued, but they have replaced it with an even better controller now. It's the DJI FLX4, and it's part of the Pioneer family, and I would suggest always to buy Pioneer. I've always been Pioneer myself, and no matter where you play, to be honest, globally in the world, or even if you're going to a bar, you're going to a club, you're even playing at your mate's party, generally 99.999% of the time, everyone is going to have Pioneer. So I would definitely invest in a small Pioneer controller. And as an additional to that, you also get the record box program included in that as a bundle, which is amazing because that's exactly the DJ software that you will need in order to create your playlists, get your tracks analysed. And again, it's the universal. There's 2 different types of Serato, and then there's Recordbox, but I really would recommend getting yourself Recordbox. Now, if you're not in a position to invest in a mini controller, then I would highly suggest to get yourself down to a local DJ practice studio. That I know that we have them darted all around London, and there are a lot of smaller towns in the UK that also have them. So we've got Pirate Studios is a really popular one. There's also a few others. There's a studio called Cube in Canary Wharf in London. And just look in your local area, give it a Google and see what other studios you have. Or if one of your mates has any decks, or your mates' family members or whatever, try and go around their house and utilise their facilities. But I would say, whether you can or cannot invest in your decks, which everyone needs to do it in their own time, you do need to buy the Recordbox DJ software because you need to have your tracks analysed. So that is a small cost and a small investment, but you absolutely have to do that before any of your shows. You have to make sure that all your tracks are analysed on your chosen DJ software. You've made the decision, you're gonna play. You've got the equipment or the tools in which you're practicing. You've got your set list ready. You're ready to go. You are ready to go. The world is ready to hear you and hear you spread your creativity through the waveform of music. But now you're like, okay, cool, where am I going to be playing? The easiest thing you can really do is reach out to your friends, reach out to your family members, reach out to your network on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform that you're most comfortable on, post. Literally say something like, hey, I'm a DJ and I play house, Afro house and deep house, and I'm looking for a set over the next few weeks in London. Does anyone know any promoters or venues looking for new DJs? Simple. Write out a list of the venues and the bars and the different places that you're interested in playing at. So definitely have in mind where you want to play, because that also really helps people. I think you need to go in with an idea and a vision as to the type of events that you want to play, so then people can place you in the right venue, in the right space, in front of the right crowd. So write down, make a list of the venues that you see yourself playing at, whether it's today, tomorrow, or in a year, and then just look at the sheet and just think, okay, cool, I'm going to reach out to these venues, I'm going to reach out to these people, and just make a list, because then at least you're showing up every day for yourself, and you're making sure that you're reaching out to people and being proactive. And I promise you'll be rewarded. You will be rewarded and you will get yourself a set. This brings me on to point 4, and you're about to start your first set. You're at your venue, you're feeling good, you're feeling comfortable. Now, my biggest bit of advice for you is to keep things simple. Keep things so simple in your first, to be fair, 10 shows. And I mean that in your mixing style. Don't overcomplicate it. Stay away from anything that isn't fading in, fading out, bass swapping, and pressing stop, start, and cue button. Now, I honestly just do not overcomplicate it. It's so important, it's so fundamental to really build a solid foundation. But the way you feel confident as you go on in your shows is by mastering the skills, making sure that no matter what happens, you know that you know how to bring track 1 into track 2. So I'll just say, just keep everything super simple. I'm going to do another video of exactly the steps of what you should be focusing on for those first 10 shows. And I promise you, you will excel so much quicker because you've learnt the basics so thoroughly. And it's the repetition of doing that for every show. Even if in show 5 you're just like, well done, Sarah, I think I'm ready to stick on a little echo. Just don't do it. Just trust me. Do everything like in its own time, but you have to make sure that you repeat. You need to do 10,000 hours on the basic stuff, because no matter what happens there, no one can ever take that away from you. It's like riding a bike. No one's gonna ever be able to tell you how to not ride a bike once you've learned how to ride the bike. Like, it's so embedded in your mind and in your body that that skill is never gonna be taken away from you. So look at the same thing with learning the basics of DJing, and I promise you will excel so much quicker because you really would have nailed the basics. So my 5th bit of advice I have for you, this first year of you playing, to be honest, the first 2 years of you playing, don't pigeonhole yourself by just playing one genre. It's all about experimentation. It's all about exploration. You're trying to find your sound, definitely, and eventually you definitely want to focus in on a niche of genre so people know that's what you're known for and that's the kind of atmosphere that you bring to a party. But in your first 1 to 2 years of playing, certainly your first 6 to 12 months, play everything. Don't turn down any party because you don't play Afro House. Don't turn down a party because you don't know how to play R&B. Play everything if you can. And you just don't know where the journey will take you. I was an R&B DJ, and I was an R&B DJ like I'd never played house in my life when I first started to learn. And now I'm proud to say that I'm a house DJ. I love house music, but I can also play R&B, I can play hip hop, I can play garage, I can play Afro house, if I want to, I can do drum and bass. Like, I am by trade all format DJ. However, now I'm at a position in my career where I'm known for playing house, and I'm super proud of that. But if I need to switch it up and I want to surprise a crowd, chuck in a bit of R&B or hip hop or garage or whatever, I have the technical skill to do that. And also, if you are looking to grow yourself as a business, trust me, you need to be able to mix so many different genres. Like, don't pigeonhole yourself. And also, it's fun. You might discover that you love a genre that you didn't realize that you loved, which is what happened with me, which is mad because I can't live without it now. But it's true. Like, it is actually true. I was an R&B girl through and through, but when I started to play, I realized I need to be more open-minded and I need to start playing some other genres. And it's the best way to learn as well. And it's really good to get your hours on the decks. So I said yes to everything, and I'm so glad I did, because I've really learned so much about music in general. So don't pigeonhole yourself. Be open to playing all formats. And I promise you, you will gain the rewards through the journey. And whatever timeline you set for yourself and your goal, just do it, write it down and work towards that time. And in the meantime, I'm gonna create a new video, and I'm actually gonna write a list of all the equipment that you need to purchase in order to start your career or side hustle in DJing. And that's gonna be from affordable to fancy. I'm gonna give you options of both, so you'll get a really good idea of all the things that you need. If you have any questions, do pop them in the comments below. But until then, have the best day, and we will chat very soon.